Hello everyone, I'm Siren Gasim and these are my part for our report, so let's proceed. The need for correcting errors before producing the final copies. Even the most skilled legal office assistant and typewriter or computer encoder cannot create an error-free output. As a result, it is critical that you understand how to repair errors in the most effective and appealing way possible. Proofreading legal documents is essential for identifying and correcting any flaws that may have crept in. An incorrect word in a legal document can change the entire meaning of information contained in the document. A minor error might result in significant legal consequences for both clients and lawyers. So, there are numerous ways for correcting typing mistake as follows. First one is erasing using the manual typewriter. Many legal office assistants use a good eraser and many find that the clean eraser at the end of pencil is as efficient an erasing device as she or he can find. To erasing using the manual typewriter, you must roll the paper up in the typewriter to have easy access to the error. If you are typing carbon copies, a card 3 by 5 or an erasing shield should be inserted the original first. Then placing your fingers on the card or paper to the right line and type the corrections. Erasing using the correction fluids. We are familiar with this correction fluid, usually white fluid applied to paper to mask errors in text. This white paint-like fluid generally comes with a small brush similar to a nail polish brush. To correct an error, you lightly brush on a few strokes of the fluid. Wait for it to dry and type the correction. Although the fluid is generally available in pure white, you can have it prepared to match the color of your stationery. Erasing using the correction paper. Some legal office assistant prefers to use small sheet of paper coated with white surface which are inserted between the paper and the type bar or element. You backspace to place of the error and retype that error. The paper leaves a white coating on the error. Then you remove the correction paper, backspace again, and type in the correct letters. This may be done on carbon copies as well. In fact, if you use colored paper stock for carbon copies, you can probably get correction paper in the color used since they are in a variety. Erasing using the electronic typewriter correction ribbons. There are two kinds of correction ribbons. In one, the top of the ribbon is saturated with black ink and the bottom of the ribbon, which is usually contains red, is saturated with white ink. You follow the basic technique you use for correction paper, backspace to the error. Change the ribbon position indicator to its normal position, backspace, and type the correction. The other kind is wholly saturated with white ink. In some machines, the entire cartridge, whereas housing a supply of ribbon for typewriters or like machine must be changed. In others, the correction ribbon and the ink ribbon are in the machine simultaneously. Of course, this type of ribbon works only for original copies. Correction right on the screen of the computer. It is now much easier to correct errors using a computer. Before printing, changes can be done on the screen using the delete, insert, and backspace keys. Editing may be your most valuable ability. Make sure to update all documents with the goal of getting them as close to perfect as possible. This cannot be overstated. Attorneys are quite strict about this aspect of documentation. If they find an error, they will notify you. If they find several errors, you may lose your job. The computer is the invention that has greatly simplified the task of the legal office assistant. Use of legal office supplies and equipment. If you have a legal practice, then it is essential that you have the right legal office supplies and equipment to make everything run as smoothly as possible and be more efficient. As a legal office assistant, you will frequently be asked to use a variety of office equipment to do your duties. To do your work as efficiently as possible, you must be knowledgeable of many types of equipment available and the functions that each piece of equipment can perform. When it comes to court matters, the rules of the courts define how documents should be prepared. However, each office, each attorney, and even each secretary may have their own preferences for the style and form of non-court filings. The preferences of the office or the attorney are most relevant in such circumstances, and you should make it a priority to effectively learn them on the job. You should also be aware of any health and safety concerns associated with the usage of office equipment. The use of the law office letterhead. Legal letterheads are commonly used by lawyers as an effective way of introducing themselves. The use of legal letterheads often dictates that the recipient of the letter, whatever its purpose is dealing with a professional and qualified lawyer or attorney. Law office letterhead and envelopes are generally prepared on the quality bond paper. Letterhead are simple, dignified, and may even be engraved. They may include such terms as law office or attorneys at law and may have the names of the partners on them. Letterheads are usually standard letter size paper, 8.5 by 11 inches. Many legal papers, however, are typed on longer paper 8.5 by 13 inches, which is referred to as legal paper. Some offices use ruled with left margin 1 and 1/4 inches wide and right margin and a half inch wide. In some states, not only is the paper ruled, but the lines are numbered to the left margin, double space, beginning 2 inches from the top of the page. A check of office files will indicate the type of paper preferred in your office for various documents. Courts are requiring the use of the legal size to letter size paper for court documents. The use of the legal cap. A white writing paper for legal use that is usually 8.5 inches wide and 13 or 14 inches long and is often ruled. Legal cap is short for cap paper, a white writing paper that is significantly longer than its width, usually lined and with one or more margin lines, also called downlines, running vertically in red. Legal cap refers to the ruled and numbered paper used for typing certain legal documents, especially those to be submitted in court by lawyers and their legal office staff. It is sometimes referred to as pleadings paper since it is regularly used in a connection with court requests or complaints and claims against parties. Although this is not an accurate description of the many applications for this type of stationery, the term is useful to know because it is used frequently. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.